Here we'll do the code for the invalid name exception, and here is the invalid name exception class, user defined class invalid name exception return that extends exception. Now in this class we have taken a member named as message of type string, and this message is the actual message, error message, exception message related to the problem that has occurred, that is name not valid. Okay, and for this user defined exception class we write a default constructor with the empty definition and parameterized constructor that takes string as an argument and that pass to the superclass constructor. So superclass constructor is the constructor of exception class. Okay, now next part is we have to write one new class where we are going to use this invalid name exception, and as we have to write invalid name exception there has to be a data member name. Then another member you can take anything. I have taken age. Now write down one default constructor with empty definition, parameterized constructor with name as parameter and age as a parameter. Now here in this constructor there is possibility of this exception, user defined exception, and hence we have to write this constructor throws invalid name exception. Now apart from that we have taken one flag just to check whether the special character or the digit found inside the name, if there is a name present or a symbol, special symbol or digit present, we have to change the value of the flag. So initially it is 0. Once we get the specific value we have to change it to 1. As we don't have to compare anything with the age, we directly assign the value of age, that is the value that we received in this local variable of the constructor that we assign to the data member age. Now we have to find out whether inside name is there any special character or digit present, and for that we have to write down for loop, and this for loop will help us to check each and every character of the name. So inside this for loop we write down the if condition name character add, because we have to check one character, and in using the string function character add we can get particular character or one character at particular position. So character at 0 position, character at 1 position, and likewise. So n dot character at I, if it is a greater than 65, 65 is the ASCII value of capital A, and it is less than equal to 90. 90 is the ASCII value for capital Z. So if it is between capital A to capital Z, or it is between a small a 97 to small z 122. So we have to first check these values. So if it is other than that, hence not is written, and if it is other than that, set the flag value to 1 and come out of the loop. Okay, so either if it is a name with all characters, this for loop will reach to the length end of the string, and if it contains special symbol or digit in between somewhere, at that point it will come out by setting the value of flag to 1. Now after coming out of this for loop we have to check what is the flag now. If flag is 0, that means name does not contain any special symbol or digit, then assign name is equal to n. But if flag is 1, we have to throw the user defined exception, throw create the object of invalid name exception and give a message that name should not contain special symbol or digit. This will be assigned to this string and it will be given to the superclass constructor, that is exception. Okay, and from where we get the exception details in get message or e dot print stack trace and so on. Now we have to write down one method called as toString to display the object of this user just an exception class, in which this name is there, and we have two members, name and age, that we have concatenated here. Now in main, what we have to do, we are going to read the values from the user. We are not just passing it to the constructor, but we'll take the actual value from the user. So buffered reader is required. So we have created object of buffered reader, and we are giving a message that enter name and age. So first read the value of the name in variable n, and second age we read in the variable a. As read line return string, we have to convert it to integer and store it in a. After that, create object of name exception and pass n and a, that is name and age, as an argument. If the name is invalid, you will get the object of invalid name exception thrown. If it is not, then you will come to the next line and you will display the value of that particular object, that is name and age. Now, as in these lines there are two possible exceptions. One is for buffered reader IO exception, and second, in this constructor there is a possibility of name invalid name exception. So we have to write these lines in the try block, and we have to write two catch blocks, one for IO exception and second for invalid name exception. Okay, and display the appropriate message of that particular exception. Okay, this is all about the particular user defined exception for name. Now let us run it. Name exception. Okay, enter the name. Let us write down name without any error. So the object is displayed. Okay, we will run it, and now we will give it invalid name. Okay, and age. There is an exception thrown, invalid name exception, and what is the message for that exception? Name should not contain any special symbol or digit. Okay.